All right, the next category that we're going to be moving into is mood disorders. So, major depressive disorder is more than just feeling down, and it's more than just feeling sad about something. And bipolar disorder is more than just mood swings. Depression plus the problematic overly up mood called mania. Okay, so there are a lot of misconceptions about what major depressive disorder is and what bipolar is, and hopefully you'll get some clarification as we go through today. So what is the criteria of major depressive disorders? Okay, so major depressive disorder is not just one of these symptoms. Okay, it is one or both of the first two plus three or more of the rest. So it is one or both of depressed mood most of the day and or markedly diminished interest or pleasure in activities. Okay, then plus three or more of the rest of these. Significant increase or decrease in appetite or weight, insomnia, sleeping too much or disrupted sleep, lethargy or physical agitation, fatigue or loss of energy nearly every day, worthlessness or excessive and inappropriate guilt, okay, and daily problems in thinking, concentrating, and or making decisions. Okay, so depression is more than just being sad, and that's a very common misconception. Oh, and then I'm sorry, I forgot the last one. Reoccurring thoughts of death or suicide. Okay, so depression is not just a depressive reaction to things. Okay, some people make an unfair criticism of themselves or others with major depressions. Things there's nothing to be depressed about, or your life is so great. What do you have to be depressed about? But that's not what's happening when you have major depressive disorder. Okay, you have to view major depressive disorder the same way as you would view someone with asthma. I mean, you would never say when someone is having an asthma attack, what do you have to be gasping about? And that's the same thing with depression. Anybody could suffer from depression regardless of, how great their life is or how horrible their life is. Okay, so it's not, a reaction to something. Okay, if it's bad enough to have major depressive disorder that persists even under good circumstances, don't add criticism by applying that depression is an exaggerated response. Okay, and this is a really important piece because so many people think that depression is a reaction to something when it's not. Okay, depression is everywhere. Okay, depression shows up in people seeking treatment for phobias. They're the most common. Frequently experienced disorder, but depression is the number one reason mental health people seek mental health. Okay, depression occurs worldwide. Per year, depressive episodes happen to about 9% of men and about 6% of men and 9% of women. And over the course of a lifetime, okay, 12% of Canadians and 17% of Americans experience depression. And this is probably a low number in reality. Now, one very common criticism is that depression, because it is so common, is kind of referred to as the common cold of disorders. And this has got a lot of critique from a lot of people because both are common, meaning occurring frequently and pervasive. Comparing depression to a cold just doesn't work. Number one, depression is more dangerous because of its suicide risk. It has fewer observable symptoms. It is more lasting than a cold and is less likely to just go away with time. It is much less contagious, and depressive pain is beyond sniffles. One thing to note is that people that suffer from depression also oftentimes have physical pain that goes along with it. Okay, now one kind of other type of mood disorders is something called seasonal affective disorder or SAD. And seasonal affective disorder is more than simply disliking winter. It involves reoccurring seasonal pattern of depression, usually occurring during short, dark, cold days. So, when they do a survey, have you cried today? The result is more people answer yes in the winter. So, seasonal affective disorder is a type of depression. Now, it's not major depressive disorder. It's a type of mood disorder where people tend to cycle into these depressive patterns in the winter months. Okay, and part of it has to do with the colder, shorter, darker days. So again, the big take-home message with the mood disorders, okay, if we go back, with depression, okay, the big thing to understand is make sure you can identify these symptoms, okay? Make sure that you understand that it's depressed mood most of the day, okay, and then diminished interest or pleasure in activities. Okay, one or both of these occur, plus three or more of these other ones, okay? And then the other really important thing to remember about depression is that it is not a reaction, okay? It is not a reactive response to things. It is something that can happen to anybody regardless of life, regardless of circumstances, okay? And it changes your whole cognitive pattern and view on the world. Okay, and in class, we're going to be taking a deeper look at depression and what happens with it.